At the party, the music was too loud and the jokes were louder. I hadn't planned to stay long. My wife, Maribel, loved these gatherings, the kind where everyone pretended to be closer than they were. I stood by the kitchen island with a drink I didn't want, nodding at stories I'd heard before. I was 43, comfortable in my skin, comfortable in my silence. Or so I thought. Maribel was in her element, laughing with a circle of people from her firm. Someone brought up old relationships, the harmless nostalgia kind, and I felt the shift before I heard it. She glanced at me, then at them, like a performer checking the lights. "Oh, please," she said, smiling. "My ex was bigger." I learned early what confidence looks like. Laughter popped around the room. Someone snorted. Someone else raised their glass. The room didn't spin. It narrowed. I didn't feel anger first. I felt something colder, like a door closing somewhere inside my chest. I set my drink down. Maribel was still smiling, enjoying the ripple she'd made. It wasn't about bodies. It was about respect. It was about saying something you can't unsay because you think applause will protect you. I looked at her and waited. The laughter thinned. She noticed the quiet, the way people notice a draft. "What?" she asked, playful, expecting a line. That was the moment I understood what I needed to say, not to hurt her, not to win, but to end the performance. "I'm glad you brought him up," I said, evenly. "It explains a lot." The words landed without heat. People leaned in. "You joke about him because you still measure things against him. I don't. I don't compare. I choose." A pause stretched. I kept my voice steady. "And right now, I'm choosing to leave." The smile slid off her face like it had lost traction. Someone cleared their throat. I didn't look at anyone else. I picked up my jacket from the back of the chair. "We'll talk tomorrow," Maribel said too quickly. I shook my head. "No," I said. "Tomorrow isn't for jokes." Outside, the night air was sharp and clean. I walked to my car, not rushing, not shaking. The drive home was quiet. I replayed the moment, not to savor it, but to understand it. For months, there had been comments like that, small cuts disguised as humor. I had let them pass because I believed marriage meant patience. I believed love meant endurance. At home, I slept on the couch, not because I was exiled, but because I chose distance. In the morning, my phone buzzed with messages. Maribel apologized, said it was a joke, said everyone laughed. I replied once. Jokes are only jokes when everyone's laughing. Then I put the phone down. We talked that evening, carefully. She said she felt embarrassed, that she hadn't meant it. I listened. I didn't interrupt. When she finished, I said, "I don't need promises. I need respect." She nodded, eyes glossy, and for a moment I thought that would be enough. Weeks passed, the comments stopped, but the tone remained. Subtle digs, comparisons without names. I realized the party wasn't the problem, it was the pattern. I wasn't angry anymore. I was clear. One night, I packed a bag, not in secret. I told her calmly. "I'm not leaving because of one joke," I said. "I'm leaving because I don't recognize myself when I stay." I moved into a short-term rental near the river. The mornings were quiet. I cooked for one. I went to the gym, called old friends, learned how silence could be generous. Maribel called, then texted, then sent long emails explaining context. I read them once. I didn't argue with her feelings. I just didn't trade mine away. A month later, we met for coffee. She looked smaller somehow, less certain. She said she missed me. I believed her. I said I missed who we were before humor turned into armor. She asked if we could try again. I told her I needed time, not punishment, alignment. When I walked out, I felt lighter, not triumphant, honest. The party became a story I told myself about lines and choices. I didn't wipe a smile off her face to prove anything. I said what I needed to say to stop erasing myself. Sometimes the strongest reply isn't louder. It's final. Later, friends asked what really happened. I didn't dramatize it. I said a boundary showed up, and I honored it. Some nodded, some shrugged. A few warned me about pride. I smiled. Pride had nothing to do with it. Peace did. I learned how quickly laughter can turn into a lesson when it costs you your name. I learned that choosing yourself doesn't require cruelty. It requires clarity. Maribel and I eventually filed paperwork. We were civil. We divided things without theatrics. On the last day, she tried once more to frame the night as a misunderstanding. I told her misunderstandings don't repeat themselves with the same punchline. She went quiet, then wished me well. I wished her the same. Time did what time does. The sting faded. The memory sharpened. I became better at hearing myself before rooms got loud. At another party months later, someone made a similar joke about someone else. The laughter came, uneasy. I didn't join in. I left early, content. Driving home, I realized the reply that mattered most wasn't the one that ended a smile. It was the one that began my life again, measured not against anyone else, but against the calm I refused to trade away. That calm stayed. It guided choices, friendships, mornings. It reminded me that dignity doesn't announce itself. It simply stands, steady, when a joke asks you to kneel. I stood. That was enough. Enough for me. Enough for the future I kept. Quiet, deliberate,